Hello. No more talk, no conversation. We can read the writing on the wall. Well, I guess that's a pretty good place to stop the song. We can read the writing on the wall, and the writing on the wall says, American people, you lose. And so we're here at nomoretalk.com because we want to do something about that writing on the wall. We want to put the words on the wall that are supposed to be there, that we, the American people, own this country. We are the ones who get to say what goes on here, and we have lost our way. We are like travelers on a very long road who have missed the obvious street signs for direction and how to best govern our country. Today, I want to just mention a few things, and I've done this in the past, but I want to do it again because it needs to be repeated over and over and over again until we all start to understand what's happening in our country. And it's very simple. From gasoline to medicine to insurance, health, and others, to the military industrial complex, interest rates on credit cards, virtually every large business in our country is set up to violate our trust and to take our money without asking. And they do all of this because the people that we have elected to watch out for us, oversee our economy, oversee the giant corporations, have simply not been willing to do that because of the money that they get from those companies and those industries and those resources. And so we need to look at the wide spectrum of our problems in our country and stop blaming the current administration. The current administration under Joseph Biden is nothing different than the administration that was under Richard Nixon, John Kennedy, Barack Obama, first term Trump, all of these people and all of the senators and all of the congressmen, with very, very few exceptions, are pawns in a game that we don't get to play. You know, my old spiritual advisor, George Carlin would say, they run the game and we're not in it. We don't have a say to what happens in our country. Yes, we vote, but we only get to vote for the people that they want to run. They pick the candidates, and we choose what we feel is the lesser of two evils. I don't know at this point in my life whether Donald Trump is the lesser of two evils or if he is the evil one. And I'm not that sure about Joe Biden either. But I do know this. We can no longer allow the politicians in our country to make a career out of stealing our money. Let me repeat that. We can no longer allow the politicians and elected officials in our country license to steal our money. This is as I stated in a podcast previous to this one, this is one of the reasons why we have the turmoil, the anger, and hopefully not anymore, but the violence that has been witnessed in recent years, because the American people have lost hope, they have lost wealth, they are lost in their raising of their children because it takes two incomes to replace one because of the taxation and the overpricing of all consumer goods. And so anger and hopelessness turn into rage. And you see it, you hear it. And I don't know if I covered this in a previous podcast, but I want to say it now. Our media, regardless of what side, doesn't matter if it's right-wing Fox or left-wing MSNBC or anybody in between or anybody on either side, it does not matter. They are complicit in the anger and the fighting and the discussions that we all go through as Americans, trying to find a way to make this a better country. They're making millions and millions of dollars selling advertising to people who are pretending to cater to our needs and desires as Americans. Whether you're on the right or the left, it does not matter. I watching Washington Journal this morning again, and realizing that this is a program. It's a call-in program, and they have some guests. And if you haven't seen it, as a beginning course in your education for your government degree and your ability to speak intelligently about our problems, is watch Washington Journal. They have guests, all kinds of various interests, public and private. Then they have call-ins, and it goes from 4 o'clock in the morning, California time, until 7 a.m. California time. But most of the people who call in are like me, geezers, old people. We really need young people to listen to the programs and ask their questions, and because they are the citizens of the future. My generation is almost gone and will be soon gone. And when we are, if everything that we care about goes with us, I feel bad for the people left behind. I don't know if I shared this in the past, but I'll share it today. I did not start this podcast or write this song or put myself out into the public venue for any other reason than I have children and I have grandchildren and they are going to have children. And I want this country to be left to them better than it is today. And so we have a lot of things on our plate. We need more and more and more of you to please share this video, this podcast with your friends. I think this is number 5, but I beg you, with my heart as open as it can possibly be, I may not have any of the answers. I may never change anything in this country. But before I die, before I go on to whatever comes next, I want to try. And I want to understand you And I want you to know that I understand that even if you're giving me some very, very negative feedback on my Facebook page or in public, it does not matter. I understand. You're as angry and as fed up as I am. I think we're going to cut this one short with this last piece. Donald Trump may not be the greatest man that ever walked the planet of the earth. He may be the worst. I can't say that. I'm not the judge of that. But what I can tell you is this. If you truly, with your entire heart and your human being inside of you, believed in that man, I know why. I know why you believed in him. I know why you trusted him. And I know why you continue to support him. Because he's different. Because he's not like the rest of those people in government who have shanghaied your wealth, stolen your dreams, and not returned anything for the money that they get for doing the robberies that they commit. And that's what it is. So we'll say it again before we sign off for today. What we need in our country is a political structure realignment. We need to only allow elected politicians to stay in office for a period of time. President gets 2 4-year terms. I think a senator shouldn't have any more than that. Congressman, maybe even the dog catcher in your city, whoever's elected, 2 terms. That's it. And those can be hammered out by people with a lot more brains than I have. But after we figure out how long they get to stay, then we need to know that they won't be there 45 years from now. That they get 2 terms in office and then they have to go back to work. That's what the Founding Fathers did. They served our country, then they went back to their farms and back to their jobs, and they lived under the laws that they passed while they were lawmakers. If we can reinstitute the values and the directions of our Founding Fathers, I believe in my heart of hearts that we can change this country for the better, that we can stop arguing with each other. We can put down the gloves. We don't have to fight. We can agree on change. And then as we travel this road and we need to make decisions, we can make those decisions as brothers and sisters in the American population. And whatever decision we make, the losers or the winners can be okay. We can live to argue another day. I believe that you all may have some opinions on what I'm doing here. If you do, you can go to the webpage, nomoretalk.com, and you can leave those opinions or questions, whatever you have, suggestions. We need you all involved. This is as important as it can possibly be. So this is Artie from nomoretalk.com, and no more talk, no more politicians. Can't you read the writing on the wall? Well, I can. No more talk, no more conversation. It don't do no good at all.